Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm going to talk about what it means to have your Mars conjunct with someone's South Node in Synastry or vice versa. So this one is an interesting one. You tend to be pretty feisty in this relationship. The relationship brings up both partners, specifically the Mars person, but the South Node person as well, both of their aggressive sides or their like, let's go and do it energy. And the relationship can be a more active one where you're actively doing something together, you're working together, you're doing physical sports together, you're fighting in war together, or maybe that was the past life, you were fighting in war together, or in the past life you were fighting each other in war or just fighting. So there's that aspect of like the Martian aggression coming out in this aspect. But it can just mean you're really good partners together in some type of physical activity. It can also be a highly sexual bond. The sexual attraction with this aspect can just be through the roof. But it's Mars, not Venus or Moon, and maybe there's other Venus and Moon stuff going on, I would hope, but because of the selfish nature of Mars, this aspect can really bring out like an animalistic, like lustfulness in the synastry, which can be good, if we have other things going on that are harmonious and we've got some Venus moon or something going on where we can actually love each other too, then this is just going to be a really passionate bond with a lot of sexual energy. But if we have, other more difficult things going on, like maybe Mars, Pluto, or Pluto's sun, or, other aspects that would show more selfishness or violence maybe, then this one is just going to be like adding gasoline to the fire, and it can be a really toxic relationship. So I have seen this one come out with violence in the relationship, or just even if it's not actual physical violence, it could be the people just really get irritated with each other early on, and they sometimes won't even give the relationship a chance because there's so much Martian energy, like Mars aggression, that the people actually just are irritated with each other. They're just irked with each other. And of course, that depends on the person's Mars. So here's something I've noticed. If Mars is in a more stronger sign, like, maybe one of the fire signs, or like Scorpio, like, but with good aspects, and Mars in the person's natal chart is healthier, right? Like, let's just think about that separately for a second. Then this relationship, they like it. The South Node person just activates them, and they're like, yeah, let's go, let's do it, let's have sex, let's climb Mount Everest, like, let's go, this is great, let's like go fight that guy together, like, and there's just this added like oomph and like energy, right, to the relationship. Maybe they're working together on some project. That would be also good, because the Mars person can feel really motivated by the South Node person. Now, if Mars is in a more difficult sign that it doesn't naturally do well in, or like a more aggressive sign, like maybe it's in Aries, but their Aries Mars is like opposite to Pluto or something, and there's a lot of tension with the Mars, and then the South Node person can just be very irritating to the Mars person and really just push their buttons in the way that they don't like, and they don't want anything to do with the South Node person. And the South Node person feels like the Mars person is just kind of judging and evil and like cruel. So the relationship doesn't form, it doesn't last, but something was stirred, right? Some kind of energy was stirred here. Why does that happen, right? Why does energy get stirred like that? Why do you just get so repulsed by someone when you don't even allow a relationship to form because of how uncomfortable it is? That's karma. That's Mars conjunct the South Node, that is the past life energy that's being carried forward. They've done something to each other. They've fought. They've somehow done some damage in a past life. And that's kind of the carryover that we can sometimes see with this aspect, is that there is that animosity. There's some level of, they just don't like each other with this one. We can see that, right? But it doesn't have to be that way, but I have seen it that way. And then I've also seen it be very good, where it's just a very, the Mars person just gets really stirred by the South Node person and wants to pounce on them sexually. It can activate that. But on, other levels, the Mars person can just feel really enlivened and strong and confident and like secure in their Mars when they're around the South Node person. And the South Node person feels like the Mars person is really got it going on. Like they are a force to be reckoned with. They're like a powerful, kind of a dominating energy too on the South Node person, but they can like that because they see the similarity in themselves, and they really like how the Mars person activates them and, gives them that like get up and go energy as well. Now, what can happen with this one if there's not other aspects going on to the North Node is that they really can bring out that South Node sign and the Mars signs more egotistical qualities or more difficult or negative qualities, right? So you have to look at what all is going on. Like the Mars person could really activate the South Node person, which could then lead them to integrate those qualities of that sign into a higher level and then rise to the North Node, but that's not often what's going to happen. They could keep each other on like a lower frequency or like a more like animalistic energy. So they could keep each other kind of operating in a non-spiritual kind of more lower frequency fighting Mars energy. And that, that could be good if we're dealing with two people that are like really Neptunian and like they lack structure in their life and they lack energy. And then they have this contact and then they, get that Mars fire going. But in two people that are already very strong with their Mars and sort of more of the fighting aggressive type, then this contact could really just bring that out even more. So you have to look at the whole picture here, but look at the qualities of that South Node and the sign of the Mars in the South Node, and those qualities are going to be really aggravated here and brought up in a high extent. And I really do feel like the karmic energy with this is sometimes so strong that the relationship doesn't even happen because they just irk each other. But sometimes there's so much sexual attraction that it does bring two people together, and it can end up being one of those toxic relationships, or depending on other things, just a really active, energetic relationship. So yeah, anyways, it's not a boring one. Something is definitely activated and stirred here when we have Mars conjunct the South Node in Synastry. So I'd love to hear your guys' experience of this placement. How did it feel? How did it activate you? I'm sure it stirred something up for you. I'd love to hear about it. And I also offer one-on-one sessions. I do a Synastry session, which I can do your relationship chart. We can go super deep there. And then I also do a personal natal chart session as well. My links are below. Yay. We'll talk soon, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.